Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Super Bowl podcast, episode number 32. My name is Braden Dohrmann. Alongside me, as always, David Arnold and Harper Houck. And today, we are very excited because we have on, for the first time, a guest that flew in just for the episode, right? You're here just for the Super Bowl podcast, and you're going to fly right back.
Yep.
On the Super Bowl PJ is what we said.
Yep.
But, yeah. Sam Winter in town today to be on the podcast. He's best friends with me since fourth grade. So we came up through high school, and over the last 4 years, he's gotten to play on Boise State men's basketball. He's had a lot of success on the court. I mean, made it to 3 March Madness tournaments over the last 4 years. He's become a name on social media, which has been a lot of fun and cool to see. Especially from our hometown of Montesano. So any Montesano viewers, thanks for tuning in if this is your first time. But Sam, thanks for coming. Glad that we finally got to make this happen. This was always a plan once this podcast kind of began.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. Great to be here. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. We're going to talk basketball. We're going to talk social media, and then we're going to talk about God, of course, because he's been writing your story this whole time. But first, David, you got the trusty trivia back because, hey, I think our viewers love it.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you all having me back. It's an honor. So today's trivia, I don't know if you guys have seen TNT Inside the NBA. Well, they do this game called Who He Play For. And we're going to be doing that today, March Madness style. So I'm going to give you guys players, and let me clarify the teams. We got Sam and Braden, the hometown buddies, versus Harper on an island by himself.
That's right.
So I'm going to give these people, these teams a player, and their job, tell me who we play for.
And
so
it's this year based off of
this year.
These are all players that played this year,
in
right?
the tournament.
Right.
Yep. So you have seen these people if you've watched every
Sam
game.
would know everybody, right?
No, not everybody, but
You'd think.
We'll see.
For sure, and it'll be graded to your skill level. So some of Harper's players, we'll get into the experience with college basketball.
Yeah.
But, his players will be a little bit more gettable than maybe your guys'.
Zach Edey, maybe.
Yep, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe we'll see.
Oh,
But
I have nightmares still about him.
Yeah.
Harper, I need like just 15 seconds to describe your background in college basketball. How much watching you do in your free time, and then we'll go across the room here.
Well, I'm gonna be very transparent with y'all and the viewers. Outside of March, there's not much college basketball being watched from Harper.
It's too bad. Man. It's too bad.
I do love my teams, both Tennessee and GCU. I know those rosters pretty well.
Do you?
But outside of that, I'm kind of just watching the games, not really paying attention to players. So we'll see. I'll need some help from up above, and hopefully I can take down these two.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go Dohrmann next, and then we'll.
Yeah. I love college basketball. I'm a connoisseur of sorts. I don't play.
It's a great word.
I watch a lot, and having teams like Grand Canyon, Boise State. I'm a Wazoo guy as well. Kind of having all 3 of those teams to root for, and all to get to the tournament this year was a lot of fun. So I paid a lot of attention this year. It was a successful season for my teams. So hopefully we'll have a decent idea on some of these probably obscure names you're going to give us.
Yeah. Okay. Sam?
Play college basketball, but I also love watching college basketball. I don't know if I'm that good with names, though. But outside of the Mountain West, we'll see.
I feel like you and I are pretty good at bouncing off of each other, though.
Yeah.
I think if one of us can just say something, it's gonna figure it out.
Yeah,
and so
I at least have each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
And these are all tournament teams, like I said, and I have their position and points per game as hints if you guys want them.
Okay.
Got it.
I don't know how much help they're gonna
Can I
be.
just say one more thing before we get started?
Sure.
I feel is this our 3rd or 4th time doing trivia?
Probably 3rd. Yeah.
I'll just say I feel like the teams in the past were made to where the 2 people who it was like the 1 expert versus the 2 people who didn't know as much.
Yeah.
So today we're just completely throwing me out on my own island. So
I didn't make the rules. I just got handed the script.
Yeah.
So
just say it's kind of funny to me how that all worked out. So
Well, we'll see how they feel after.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, you might get some easy games
I
here.
feel good for you, Houck. I feel great about it. All right.
all right. Well,
We're going to start with Dohrmann and Sam, though. Set the tone a little bit. Here we go. DJ Horn. Who he play for?
DJ Horn,
Yeah, I know it.
NC State.
I'll let you say it
Okay.
as well.
That was the easiest one, and you did get it right. That was Final Four team. I mean, come on. You
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
probably had to know him. Okay. Good stuff. Harper, are you ready? This is going to get
Harper,
fun.
would you have
real
gotten that
quick.
one?
No, straight up.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
was
thing.
curious.
I think I maybe faces would have helped, but like just the name straight up, like I have very little chance.
Yeah.
That was okay. Here we go. Harper, your first player, Jack Golke. Who he play for?
Oh no.
Oakland.
Yes,
Nice.
nice.
Yeah, it's like-
It's almost
That
a
was
trick
tough one.
question,
I was
but
like,
it's not.
okay.
See, I'm telling you, that sets the tone. I think that's the easiest
I'm
for
on the
both
board.
teams. So I wanted to get some points because we've had some trivias where nobody scores, and then it's like I'm scrapping. Like, what's the tiebreaker going to be? Okay, there still is a tiebreaker question. We'll get to it. Hopefully, maybe. We'll see. Stay tuned.
Oh boy.
All right, Dohrmann and Sam. Next player, Brandon Witherspoon. Who he play for?
Brandon Witherspoon in the tournament.
Can we get a points per game?
Points per game, absolutely 7.2.
7.2.
So that makes me think he's on probably a Power 5 team.
Yeah, I want to say ACC, but I don't know.
Okay, let's go through the ACC teams in the tournament. There's Virginia, there was Duke, there was North Carolina, NC State, and
This is impressive.
Clemson. Is he on Clemson?
I don't know. I can't remember. We played them a long time ago.
Do you think it's a guy you played before?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. What's the other hint?
Other hint, he's a guard.
He's a guard.
Also position and points per game.
Yep.
I'm guessing it's Power 5. If he's going to say a guy that's averaging 7 a game, it's not going to be a mid-major guy, probably.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Alabama. I don't know.
So you don't think it's Clemson?
I don't
Probably
think
not.
so.
You'd probably know that. All right.
Just give a guess.
Shoot, he could have been on Alabama. Witherspoon?
This is great.
He might have been.
Should we go Bama?
That might have been why he asked it, you know?
Yeah.
Let's go
Trying-
Bama.
Bama.
Okay. You think it's that easy, huh? Think it's that easy.
Oh.
Florida Atlantic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I watched Florida Atlantic's first game, and that's why I knew his name. I was just looking up for obscure team, just in case,
No, that was
like
good.
the DJ Horn. I mean, you guys got it right away, so
Yeah.
just wanted to
That was
get a
a good one.
ballpark. So, okay, Hauk, chance to take the lead. No
Yeah.
pressure
Did
here,
you guys
right?
play FAU?
No pressure. Jaden Ledee. Who he play for?
San Diego State.
Wow.
Okay, Hauk.
Nice.
Okay, Hauk.
I saw him play in
Okay,
person.
Hauk. Come on. I'm surprised you got that one.
Yeah, that was
I,
was
honestly.
actually- I mean,
I'm
he's
honestly
a beast.
surprised.
I remember watching him in person when he came here.
Yeah, I didn't know if you'd piece the name together.
Guy's
See, 'cause
ripped. So he's
Yeah.
freaking.
I think sometimes we forget that Harper is pretty smart.
Well,
I think we just
Oh,
look
that's
at
so
him
sweet of
and
you.
you look
No,
at him and you're like,
That's pretty.
I just
backhanded
jeez.
compliment. Wow.
Wow, he may be winning, but is he really winning, folks? I mean, I don't
Am
know.
I just
after
gonna
that.
take that? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we'll see what the scoreboard
No,
shows
you
at the
got,
end.
You got to answer. You got.
This is an important
gotta
one all of a
answer.
sudden.
Oh, shoot. Here we go.
Here we go. Third player. Achor. I think you guys should know this name.
I remember watching the tournament. Was he on Akron?
I couldn't tell you.
That's what's sticking out to me right now. I think he was on a mid-major team that he might have been on Samford
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. I think it was I'm trying to remember where I was when I was watching this. I feel like I was with you. I feel like I was watching the game with you. And I know we watched Kansas and Samford late on Thursday night.
Could be.
Points per game?
He's not giving
Points
you
per
anything.
game, 16.1.
Ooh.
This guy's a baller.
So
Is he he's a post?
power
Or,
forward.
He's a forward. He is a
forward.
forward.
So I think it's first day of the tournament, if this helps you at all. First day of the first round.
Mhm.
And on a mid-major team that came close. I don't know if they got it done, though, as far as upsetting.
You want to go Sanford?
Yeah, do you feel good about that?
Sure. Yeah, you go Sanford.
Akron's scaring me. Well, let's go Samford.
Samford is correct.
All right.
That was nice.
That was
All
impressive.
right.
That was nice.
You wouldn't have
job.
got that one, would you?
Yeah, I was
Because
completely in the dark.
yeah, that's why I went with, because I saw his name. I'm like, that was iconic. I mean, that dude was balling versus Kansas.
Yeah, he was.
You feel like that one was easier than the second one, or
Oh, no.
Whether
No, yeah.
Witherspoon was probably the hardest, I thought.
Yeah.
I think just his name makes you remember it a little bit. And we're
Yeah.
like, wow, that's an interesting name. Like, yeah. So
All right,
Man.
Harper. For the win.
Dagger.
To walk it off.
Walk it off.
Dagger.
Tyson Dagenhart. Who he play for?
okay, yeah. You know it?
I think I do.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Do you?
Does it look like I know? Okay. Give me the 2 hints or
Okay.
whatever.
He averaged
information.
16.7 points per game.
All right.
Forward.
4. Can you repeat the name slowly?
Ty Son Dagenhart.
Mm. I mean, I just got to guess a tournament team at this point. I have no clue. I'm going to be very honest.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to go Power 5 school.
Okay.
Mm.
Because I feel like for my questions, you gave me probably more notable players, and there's a better chance of them being on a Power 5 school. Wait.
Definitely silence here.
Yeah. The
To win it all.
Wait.
clock's running, Jim.
What Boise State game did we watch? It was Boise State versus
What? Colorado?
what was that one? Is this guy from Boise State?
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Sam, would you like to tell him?
That's correct.
Dude.
What a guess.
Oh,
I thought we
it's
had
the
him.
senior, right?
I thought we had
the
him.
one you were telling me about, right?
No, I mean he's
The one you got to meet.
yeah. I met him and a couple other guys, but yeah.
Wow. 3 for 3 performance.
And it makes sense.
Congratulations.
I was calculating. I was like, it makes sense. That
I
you would
thought
bring
we
him up
had him for sure.
because
Like
he's
Power
on Boise.
5.
And so I had to retrace there.
All right, here.
You got one more?
We're gonna do a makeshift.
All right.
I just gotta say that was tough to hold in. I was
That
like,
was-
shoot, I can't look at Sam right
Yeah.
now. I can't make this obvious.
Yeah,
I thought we
just-
got him
I was
off.
like,
I thought we got him off the trail when I
Yeah.
said, "Do you know Sam?"
I was like,
But remember, I watched the Boise State. What game was it?
San Diego State probably
Or UNLV? It might have been UNLV. I don't know.
late in the year, a good one.
We watched
yeah.
one like a few weeks back, and I remember you telling me about him.
Yeah.
And you're like, I got to meet him, super cool guy. He's like, you compared him
you
like
had
the
to go
Gabe.
way deep. To get
Yeah, I
that.
feel like
Gabe
him
on-
and Gabe are pretty
Yeah.
similar. And
So it was there. I just had to retrace
See?
a second.
I told you, man. I got you.
right.
You know, you had to think about it, but you'd heard the
That's
the
funny.
names.
Man, I really thought we just barely.
All right. Here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
I got a fourth one. If you get this one, we're sending it to overtime. Just we make up the rules as we go, right?
yeah.
That's
So,
great.
You know? Okay.
That's great, David.
Yeah. Sorry. You know, hey, you'll have a chance in overtime.
Okay.
Potentially.
Hey, if you get it in overtime, it's all you, man. Like,
Yeah.
shout out
Yeah.
to you.
All right. Here's our player. Wade Taylor the fourth.
I know that one.
His name. Oh yeah, I do. I do too.
Yeah. Texas A&M.
Okay. Well, unfortunately
He's
for
definitely-
Hauk.
you played him.
Yeah, we played him last year. He was
Did you really?
SEC Player of the Year last
Yeah,
year.
he's nice. He's nice. I just figured I just want to keep this going. I wanted the overtime
That's
question.
Yeah,
great.
let's
mean,
get the
it Sounds
overtime.
like you're making this happen.
All right, Hauk, here's what I'll do. For the overtime question, I'm going to let you guess first.
Okay.
I'm going to read you the question, and I'll tell you what's going to happen, okay?
All right.
It's a question. So,
It's a question.
how many points did Zach Edey average this year? I'm going to let you go first, Harper. They're going to give their guess, and you have a chance to change your answer based on their guess.
And it's whoever's closest.
Whoever's closest is the winner. So you can put out a first guess,
Yeah. All right.
and then they'll go, and you get a chance to
Are we
change.
going to the decimal? Like,
Yes.
all right. I saw what he did in Tennessee, so I'm gonna go like, oh gosh. Okay. 24.3 points per game.
Okay, so that's your starting guess.
That's my starting guess.
It's good.
Braden and Sam.
I'll let you add a decimal if you really
All right.
want to.
I think we're going to go 26.2.
Okay. Harper.
So wouldn't the move be to either do? Wait, what'd you say? 26.
26.2.
So I can do 26.1, 26.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah, which way?
They're setting like
I
the
just-
over under.
I'm doing the
Yeah.
over under.
Yeah. I like how this worked
All
out.
right.
I think you've earned that.
26.1. That would be mine. So I'm going the under.
So they said 26.2.
I
You're
said
going under.
26.1. 26.19.
What?
Okay.
As close as I can get it.
25 points per game, and it's the Hulkster,
Wow.
the guy who came in feeling like the
Congratulations.
underdog, looking like a champion now.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Yep. I would just like to retrace back to when you said, "What about my intelligence?"
I
That
just
was
said,
deep.
I actually
That was
said
deep.
that you're a smart guy.
He's
I
a
just
fun
said-
guy.
I just
It
said
was
backhanded, though.
sometimes we forget that.
You said
so.
sometimes forget that Harper's a
Yeah.
smart guy.
Well, in the college basketball realm, like, here's what I'll say: you're a busy guy. I know you don't watch as much college basketball as us, but you clearly do pick up on those times when you do. Like pulling Tyson Degenhart at Boise State.
That was impressive.
Yeah,
That was impressive.
Shout out Tyson if
Yeah,
you watch.
I'm sure he'll
Come
be
on.
watching. I'm sure he'll be watching. So.
Well, you helped me with it because I remember you just kept telling me about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tyson and I, we were commentating Madden, and that was a fun moment.
That was fun.
So, anyways, let's get into your story, Sam. I think might as well go chronologically here. You and I personally meeting right before fourth grade. You moved into Montesano, and you kind of took off running from there. It is definitely the athlete, right, of the school. And one thing I always thought was cool is you're very humble about it, and whereas a guy that with your skill level at a small school like Montesano, a lot of people probably would have taken it and just ran with it, but you were very consistent in just being humble about it and not talking to other players. I also remember in high school, I guess that's moving forward a bit, but players would be like, I can't get in this guy's head. Like I'm saying stuff to him, and he just like nods at me, or you'll just run around people and just not say a single word, where other people would be talking smack. Like me scoring probably, half to a third of the time you would. I'd be talking. I'd be like, let's go, and for you it's just like business as usual. So I guess, do you want to talk on your experience at Montesano High School? I know that's kind of a name that's foreign to like a lot of random viewers that we do have, and we appreciate you guys. I guess you're gonna get some Montesano history here, but hopefully a lot of Montesano people watching today, you want to kind of talk through how life went through there.
Yeah. So like you said, we met in about fourth grade. I moved into town, and Montesano, it's about 5,000 people. The population, our high school had about probably 400 or 500 people.
Yeah, I mean about 100 in our grad
so
class.
it's a real small town. I mean, it's kind of nice when we're growing up. We're playing basketball, football, baseball with all the same guys. So we played AU together. We played baseball, travel baseball together, and we pretty much it's pretty much all of our friends play like 3 sports. So it's kind of cool in that sense where you're just growing up with your friends playing sports, and that's what I love to do. That's what we love to do. So going into high school, I played football, basketball, track. I like basketball, but I also enjoyed football a lot too, and we both played football, so we had a lot of good memories there. But yeah, and then after high school, I actually got an opportunity, like we said earlier, to walk on at Boise State, which has been a great experience. I'm graduating this year, so done my 4 years and just wouldn't change anything for the world. Great experiences.
Yeah,
Love it.
I think one moment that may have kind of been your first like wave of adversity. I don't know if you've ever really gotten to like publicly talk about it a whole lot, but senior year of football, things are going really well. We're one of the top ranked schools in the state in our classification. Quarterfinals of state in front of our home crowd, and you tear your ACL, which not only really hurts our team, realistically, you're a huge part of it. And there was, whether it was a physical or a mental just effect that it took on the team that we had to snap out of, eventually losing that game, but it also took you away from the other 2 sports. I know we didn't get much of a track season with 2020, but you did lose your senior basketball season, which was your sport, right? Mm-hmm. Do you want to kind of speak on that and I guess how you got through that time? Because it was a rough probably year of your life right there, man. Like injury right into COVID and just kind of just a weird, funky season.
Yeah, for sure. It was tough. It was kind of one of those things that you just don't really believe till it kind of sets in. So I didn't know. When I did it, I didn't think I tore my ACL because I was just kind of being positive. I just thought I did something to my knee, obviously, but it was really tough when I heard the news and figured I was going to be missing senior year of basketball. But I think kind of to get through it, just kind of remembered, like, if this was like the worst thing that was ever going to happen to me, then my life won't be that bad, you know, because there's going to be some worse things. So it was tough, obviously, watching from the sidelines, and I tried to just play a kind of different role of helping out the guys and the team and trying to be like a player coach for them. But like you said, it was tough, and then we ended up having COVID shut down school anyway, so didn't really miss out on spring. But yeah, it was a tough couple months, and trying to get back to where I was.
So what caused the ACL? Like, can you walk us through like the play or?
So it was our first drive in the game. I was a receiver, so I think we were like in the red zone, third down maybe, and I go on like a 5-yard slant, and the guys playing defensive man coverage, so he tips the ball as it's coming towards me, and so I plant really quick to try to adjust the ball.
Sure.
And I just kind of felt like this pop in my knee, and I was like, oh shoot, that doesn't feel good. So I was kind of down a little bit. Came off the field. The athletic trainer did some tests, and because you can run with the torn ACL, you just can't cut.
Mm-hmm.
So I was running in the sideline. I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm just gonna get back in because your adrenaline's going.
Yeah.
You don't feel it.
Yeah,
much.
you don't feel it.
Yeah.
So I had to come out with defense. So they go down to score and they kick off. So I go back out there for kickoff return. And so the ball's coming to me as I catch it. I go to step and my knee just gives out. And that was when I was kind of like, oh shoot, that's something serious. So that's kind of like how
so you
it
went
happened.
back out there and then you collapsed on the field?
Yeah, because I didn't
Man.
know that something was seriously wrong. But I basically didn't have an ACL, so I couldn't.
Yeah.
Cut.
Yeah.
Sam and I just to kind of go on there, Sam and I were the two kick returners in the back. So whether it was called, like a reverse or like
This guy actually had a lot of kickoff returns.
I've seen some highlights.
Yeah.
Seen some highlights.
Clip
them. Yeah, we got to put them in there.
But like Sam caught that one, so then I'm gonna go like we've got our little wall that we create, and then I was in the lead block, and I mean, it was. I still remember. To be honest, I still remember hearing Sam. I still remember hearing it happen.
Yeah.
And then I just remember the hush over the crowd. Like I'm just taking off, and then all of a sudden, Sam's like, I like really like that's what I remember hearing and turning around and just knowing that something's wrong and just kind of being there, like on a knee right next to you, just like I think I'm done playing football with Sam. So yeah, that was tough. And of course, the competitor in you're like, I'm gonna get right back out there, and you're like, I can't miss this game. This is the biggest game of our lives right here. Like,
I know. I went in and put on a knee brace, and I just tried, but as I was putting it on, it just gave out again. So.
Yeah.
But looking back on it, it sucks, but it's whatever now. Like something to look back on, and now we're here, so everything turned out.
Yeah.
What did the recovery process look like?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. No, you're good.
So you went into your freshman year, like still rehabbing?
So I had surgery, I think it was December 30th or December 31st of 2019. So 2020, I think my first like rehab session, I can't even lift my leg after, like, if anybody out there has ever had ACL surgery, you can't lift your leg without it being extremely hard. So that took about 4 days to do. And then you just kind of gradually gain your strength back, learning kind of how to relearning how to run. But it was kind of difficult once COVID came because I couldn't really see my physical therapist as much. But that was honestly kind of helpful because I had nothing else going on, so I just could focus on getting my strength back and getting the movements back and mobility. So, but yeah, going into my freshman year, I still wasn't really fully healthy, which thankful for the coaches kind of taking a chance on me. Because I couldn't practice for a month or so because there's this I had to do this test when I got there. It's called the Biodex. Have you ever heard of that?
I haven't.
So it's actually, if you should watch some videos on it because it's actually crazy looking. They strap your knee in this like machine, and it's locked in there, and so there's like levels of resistance. They say you got to go as hard as you can, and then come back, and it looks like you're using all your force in there. So I actually failed the first time, so it was longer for my recovery, but eventually came back, and I stopped having kind of problems after maybe a year or two, stopped being sore and stuff. So that's kind of the process. But
so with injuries, obviously there's the physical healing, but how about mentally? Where were you mentally when you heard the diagnosis and knew that, in essence, your senior season of high school and everything's over.
Yeah. It was tough. I mean, as a high school senior, like that's your life. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing more important than playing your high school year.
Yep.
So it was definitely really hard finding out the news. I felt like I just was devastated, but yeah, it was kind of easier as it got on. Obviously, I wish I could have been playing, but I wasn't super depressed or anything, which was thankful. But I was doing better as the time got on, and as COVID came, it was just kind of a weird time for everybody.
Right.
So it kind of just distracted me a little bit. But
Totally. And then, moving into college, going in as a walk-on, I want you to kind of expand on your thoughts there because, yes, they did take a chance on you as a walk-on in general. But then having that injury, how thankful are you for all the people at Boise State believing in you and now kind of being able to see the fruits of that after an awesome 4 years?
yeah, extremely thankful. When I actually told one of the coaches who's our coach now, but that I tore my ACL, and I kind of figured it wasn't going to be a thing. But he was extremely encouraging, and I actually got a call in August is when they kind of had a spot. So that was when I got the call, and it was kind of weird just because with all like the protocols they had and the summer stuff. So I went to meet with them, and then I had to do that test. So thankfully, when they found out I couldn't practice for like a month more, they didn't drop me right there. But I'm so thankful that they did take a chance on me, and thankful for the athletic staff there and the training staff to help me work back to where I could play and get my strength back.
I think it's pretty incredible the athleticism that you have acquired over the last 4 years. Like, really, like, you obviously were that guy, but, I mean, going from a guy that probably it wasn't, like, the easiest thing to do, but you could probably dunk a little bit.
Not even, like, I could maybe dunk on a good day.
Right.
Yeah.
And then tearing your ACL. And, like, 3 or 4 years later, I mean, even, like, at some point in your freshman year, I feel like I remember seeing you just slamming it down. I'm like, that's incredible, like, the training that you must have gone through
Already, yeah.
and the skills that you were already getting just by playing at that next level. I think a lot of people may just have assumed after your injury, at least from our hometown, that, it was going to be a great story and a great success at our high school, but probably were caught off guard that you were going to get to the next level. How just happy are you that you got to experience that next level? What was, like, can you explain the difference between the high school to the college level? Because it's pretty clear to me that your training was just on a whole nother level.
Yeah, for sure. Going back to the kind of nobody expected to me, I didn't really tell anybody that I was going to walk onto the team besides, like, my close friends and family. So, like, one day I just kind of randomly posted on Instagram and everybody's like, what? So that was kind of funny. But, yeah, like, being able to play, like, at a Division I level, I'm personally probably not Division I skill level. So being able to be in this position was, like, a great opportunity. And, yeah, I could have played probably somewhere smaller, but I kind of had to make a decision, like, do I want to never play and have this Division I experience and go to a D1 school with a football team and all that, or do I want to play somewhere else? So that I ultimately decided that was the path I wanted to go down, and I'm so glad I did. But in terms of, you said level from high school to college?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously everyone is just so much better.
What do you mean, man?
Yeah, well.
Hey, wait, what?
Yeah. But definitely physicality and speed for sure. It took me a little bit, not a ton, but you definitely got to adjust to the speed of everybody, and
Yeah.
there's dudes dunking on you all the time, and so especially in Montesano, if somebody got a dunk in a Evergreen 1A league game,
Blew the
whole
house
place
down.
went
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, like you never see that. So that was definitely a big change, but just the overall athleticism.
So you mentioned kind of social media where you made the announcement. I know now you're pretty big on social media. You started enjoying doing some fun clips, day in the life, stuff like that. What was the reason behind starting that, and what's been, like, some of your favorite content you've created?
Yeah. So I've always loved, like, making videos. We've been in a lot of video production classes where we just fool around and make funny videos. But I
think we've seen some of them.
I think we
yeah.
have too.
It really is no surprise that I'm doing something like this and that you're doing what you're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
Like, it, it is something we always could bond over. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we may not have. Don't go back and watch. We're not going to link the stuff we made in
don't
high school.
say it.
Trust
Don't
me,
tell 'em what it is.
but it was something that we had a skill. Like there was something there. And now we're starting to make it happen a little bit more than we did. Probably.
It's like something other to do that we liked than sports, obviously. But
yeah.
So I mean, I can remember ever since like the Vine days, I would.
The Vine days.
Vine
So you're an
days.
OG.
I was
okay.
an OG. I
Okay.
made Vines. I had a
Wow.
couple. I actually had a couple of viral ones for what was viral back then. Like
Sure.
I don't know if you remember if you guys had Vine, but there was like a comedy page and all these
Yeah.
different categories. But yeah, so I made a lot of Vines. I kind of just didn't really do much for social media until I believe it was my sophomore year of college. I made like my first kind of basketball related video on TikTok, and I never would have thought I would download TikTok. Like
Yeah.
if you know me, like I'm super quiet kind of to myself. Like you wouldn't think I would be posting on social media, but it's kind of just something I had to just
Break out.
break out of.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
I had to grow at some point. Like, but yeah, so I started those TikToks. I eventually just started creating more and started doing like actual day in the lives, like you've probably seen. But
Mhm.
because I've always loved watching those videos on YouTube
Mhm.
and stuff, and
Mhm.
especially like the gear videos. I've always loved watching those. But then I started posting them to Instagram Reels, and so I kind of had a few of them blow up like a couple million, and so yeah, that's basically kind of my social media story and where I'm at now.
Dude, I saw something crazy. It was like ranking college basketball players like the best college basketball influencers.
Oh,
And it was
yeah.
Jared McCain and then Sam Winter, and I was like, that's my buddy Sam Winter's number 2 on the rankings.
Yeah,
That was
that
funny.
was pretty crazy. Seeing my name behind Jared McCain, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I
yeah.
feel
Where'd he
like
go?
I've even seen some of
Where's he from? Oh,
See, that's the thing. I don't even.
man, you should have asked him Jared McCain.
that. Yeah.
yeah,
That's funny.
Anyway.
Duke.
I saw. I think the first clip maybe I saw from you it was like the rolling the ball up the pit
oh yeah,
with your whole team.
Yeah,
that looked really fun.
that one I've seen a couple other teams do it.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, oh, we gotta make this video.
Yeah.
So we did that, and the first time we didn't have anybody get it up, but the second time we did, and that video got picked up by I think ESPN or House of Highlights. So that was kind of like my first.
That was a big one.
That was one of my first ones that went on one of those platforms, which is pretty cool. I know Barstool has used my video. I think Overtime Kicks recently used
Wow.
that last video. So
Some big channels.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would have never imagined they would be wanting to use my stuff. So
Pretty cool.
yeah.
I guess I have 2 questions. I'll just ask them both right now. Why not? Do you see a future where you're going to try to continue to create content around the basketball space? And then also, how important is it for you when you're not posting the reels maybe, but just posting your regular content and you are incorporating God? Do you keep that in mind? You're like, when I'm bringing more followers in, that they are going to see this when I do post this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I totally forgot your first question, but I'll answer your second question.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, so I recently had a video get to 2 million last week. It was the Saturday before Easter.
Mhm.
Okay.
So it was like a kind of giveaway video. So I had a lot of followers coming in. So I was able to post. I figured like that would be a great time to post something about Easter on my story because of all these new people seeing it. So I kind of just posted like it was like the trust God, bro. Like the post, and I put like the way, the truth, and the life. And I mean, you never know, like someone who just sees that, and you never know what could just a spark that could
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
set in
absolutely.
them. So that's kind of I kind of try to incorporate it, especially I know with the audience I have now and how much maybe an impact I can make on somebody because all it takes is one post, one story. But yeah, what was it? What was your first question? Sorry.
Let's see if I can even remember. Oh yeah, just kind of now that you've had some success in the social media game.
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna maybe try to continue to do that and become more of an influencer in the basketball space? Maybe
Yeah.
even maybe outside of basketball as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to continue doing it. I think my like niche is basketball, sports, so maybe shoes.
Yeah.
So I would like to keep doing that as kind of like a side thing. I mean, if I was able to do that as a full-time thing, that would be great. But
Sweet.
I mean, I don't know about that. But yeah,
Never know.
yeah,
I love what you said about you don't know what kind of spark it could have in someone. Like, I think your position, your heart posture with it is, I can put it out there. It's like watering and planting the seeds, but ultimately God's the one that grows them, right? And so it's like out of our hands and into His. So I love your heart posture with it.
Thank you.
All right, Sam, getting into your testimony here, I mean, God has been so evidently, leading you through these steps of your life, through grade school, high school, with FCA, and then into college where you've been able to, lead guys to Christ. Can you kind of just give us a short testimony version of, how God has done all of that through your life?
Yeah. So like you said, I grew up as a Christian. I grew up going to church. I've always believed when I was a kid, like, Jesus died for our sins. Jesus is a good guy. I know him. Yeah. But I was just kind of at the surface level, me and Braden were in FCA in high school. We were kind of like on the leadership team, I guess. We would kind of just be involved in that and maybe do some lessons every Friday. And so that was kind of like my high school experience. We would go to the same church. I would go to church sometimes, just if I was feeling like it. I was one of those kids where I was like, I was sleeping in the hope that my mom wouldn't come in and say we got to go to church. So, but I feel like transitioning into college is when you got to kind of make a decision. It's not your parents' faith, it's your faith, or it's your own. You can choose to do whatever you want. Yeah. So when I went to college, obviously it was COVID, so there was no like clubs or anything like that. So I feel like my only friends were my roommates, who I really didn't know, but they were just guys I would hang out with sometimes in our room, and the guys on my team, my teammates. So those were really and with your teammates, you're spending 80-90% of your time with. And I really didn't have any strong Christian friends on the team or just otherwise. So for my freshman year, I wasn't really walking with the Lord. I wouldn't say I was going crazy or anything, but I just wasn't being a strong Christian like I should have been. So, and I never kind of realized the meaning of fellowship, or I didn't think that was really that important. I didn't want to be honest. I was just like, I'm good with the people I'm hanging out with right now. But so coming on my sophomore year, I met somebody who was who leads Athletes in Action, AIA, which is just like a Christian organization. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. So I met him, and he invited me to this weekly group get together with other athletes. So I started going to that, and through that I began kind of making more friends who were athletes at Boise State who were also Christians, which I didn't really meet a lot of those. So it was cool to be able to just meet with them and kind of go through something that other people are going through as well, being an athlete. So did that. I going back, I didn't even really own a Bible, actually, like my own Bible, until I was at least like a sophomore, junior in college, which was crazy to think about. Yeah.
You never had a Bible?
Okay, I had like the pocket Bible, like you would get. Sure. Yeah. But I never read it. Now I have this really cool one that my girlfriend Anna got me. It says my name, Sam Winter, engraved on there, and it's
nice.
It's pretty cool. So got that now, but that was just kind of before, I would say, like I don't have a crazy testimony, but that was the pre-Christian Sam, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think a lot of people can relate, right? Like growing up in a Christian household. I mean, we're fortunate. Even though America's not perfect, right? But our Constitution is founded on faith, and so I think it's very common that we grow up in households of faith. And then eventually it's like this point in life where it's like, hey, we got to make our own decisions. Mm-hmm. Are we going to follow the way of our parents, what the foundation they've instilled in us? It's a battle, and it's something that we have to wrestle with, I think. And it becomes real to us when we're out of our comfort zone, when we're in a situation where it's like we got to rely on Him. So as far as the transition to college, I think that's pretty common, and especially figuring it out through freshman year. Our stories are all pretty similar there too, right? We kind of all try to do life on our own and realize, man, it's like it's so much better just letting go of our life into the Lord's hands and letting Him lead and guide. So do you have like kind of a defining moment there when that took place, or was it more just going through freshman year basketball, school?
I really wouldn't say I have a specific moment where I'm like, I wouldn't say I have a specific moment, but just kind of over time, I kind of realized like, this is kind of what I want to do. Like, this is important to me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start taking it seriously and doing what needs to be done and living for God like I wasn't. But so that's kind of just over time I was able to do that, and then I started realizing kind of the value of fellowship and having other Christian guys, especially in your life. Because I'm not like a super I'm inverted. So
Introvert,
not inverted.
I hope
I'm
you're
not
inverted.
I'm an introvert, so I don't like going out and talking to people or making new friends.
Sure.
So that was kind of a struggle for me, but I was able to meet a lot of Christian friends. And coming into this summer, into my senior year, we went on a Canada trip, or a foreign trip to Canada for basketball, playing a few games up there. And I've been talking with the AIA guy, his name's Joe, and then a former Boise State basketball player. And we were talking about kind of just maybe starting a team Bible study within the guys that we got. And so Canada was the first time we were in Kamloops, Canada, which it's some random, I don't even know, it's a random town in the middle of nowhere. So I figured that was a good time to
Why not?
do it. So we had it. I texted in the group chat. I was like, gonna have a quick Bible study, like nothing crazy. Come if you want, no pressure, kind of just real low key. And I was expecting maybe 3 or 4 guys come up, but I think we actually ended up having 7 to 8 guys, almost pretty much half the team. So that was really cool and encouraging to me. Like, there's people who actually are interested, and they were.
You kind of realized maybe like the harvest is there, right?
Yeah. There's an
The
opportunity
harvest is
to
plentiful.
plant some seeds, and I don't know like everything, but it was also a chance for me to help other guys, and we would help each other by just kind of talking with each other. So
Yeah, and by your act of faith of sending that message out, like a lot of guys, it's like it's cool because a lot of people, I think, especially in our country, like have that thought of like, man, I may want to do this, you know.
Yeah.
But then it just takes that one person to reach out in their group, and then it's like a lot of people are like, yeah, like I've been wanting to know more. So that's cool. That's cool that you got a direct, people who came because of your obedience. That's awesome.
thank you.
And we've talked about it in the past how, even if it doesn't take that direct action immediately, they just got to hear it sometimes.
Right.
Somebody just needs to hear it, because maybe they've grown up and they've never heard it before. And if they can just sit down for one Bible study, if it doesn't, enact like some crazy change in them, that's probably expected in our day and age. But just for you to plant that seed, whether it's now back in Canada or years from now, that seed can be, it can start to produce that crop that the Lord's trying to, instill in them. So props to you. And, we've talked about it, man. Like, there are probably certain sports that are tougher to get to. And, a basketball team with the fame and all the success that you guys have had, all the things that come along with it, it's easy to just grab that and hold on to it. And I'm sure that's still a struggle. But for you to get to half of your team and then allow that to just kind of say, hey, God, let your will be done here with this, it's amazing to hear. So, I know you and I got to sit down and talk about it later that summer, I think, and it was just like, man, praise God.
Yeah.
Praise God for this, and let's see what's going to happen this year.
Yeah, and going back on that about like all the fame and stuff, and you like as a D1 college basketball player, you got it all. Like, get the girls, go to any party, but one thing I realized, like now I'm done playing, I'm never gonna experience these going in and beating a top 25 team in front of 15,000 fans. Like that was incredible. I'm never gonna be able to experience that feeling again. And you can try a lot of things, but you're never gonna be able to feel that fulfilled without God. So that's kind of something I'm realizing now, that especially since I've stopped playing and going into my post basketball life.
Yeah, I mean, it's temporary, right?
Yeah.
Like it's here and then it's gone. It's like look at the word like identity, and like it's so easy in our culture and in our world like to place our identity in something rather than the one who created us. Because we see, I mean, even our podcast, with I'm sure social media, you deal with kind of the same thing. Like, oh man, video's going viral. Like, it's an exciting feeling, but it's like, hey, remember, this isn't forever. Even the podcast isn't forever. It's like our identity in Christ doesn't change, And while basketball, it changes. While social media, it changes. While your job, it changes. It's like, it's not performance based, with Christ. It's solely there, and there's where joy's found. So it's pretty cool.
I think there is, across this table especially, and I think with a lot of guests we've come to realize this, and today I'm sensing it from you, that we probably are too hard on ourselves at times. And, and once you see what God's doing in your life, and once you understand the relationship you have with him, it's like, what was I doing back then? But I do feel like you've, just looking back on your life, I do think it's always been apparent to you, and you've made the good decisions, and you've made decisions that are really starting to show themselves right now. And one of them that I think is obvious is your girlfriend Anna, also from our high school. And going back to all the things that you can have being that great athlete, I think in high school there were girls that probably would have stopped on a dime to be with you, man. And I think it's probably got worse in college. So for you to hold on to Anna, who is a devout Christian as well, how has she been able to, come with you to Boise and continue that relationship and, allow you guys to give your relationship to God?
Yeah. I mean, Anna, she's been huge, being able to have a girlfriend from high school that is also a Christian, especially when you're going to a college in Boise where you don't know anybody else and except you got each other. So that's been huge, and having to go somewhere to church with and all that is great. Like I said, she got me my first official real Bible. But yeah, there's been times when people actually come up to me and say why have you been dating your girlfriend since high school? Don't you want to see what's out there?
Mm-hmm.
And while they may think that, or most people probably think that, once you find that somebody like she's a good Christian girl, that that you want to be with, it's not worth it to just go around if you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
Hey man, some people they don't know what they have until they lose it, but I'm glad that you recognize what you had while you have it. So yeah, that's amazing. Shout out Anna.
Yep.
I'm sure she'll be watching.
Oh yes, sir.
I wanted to ask, so going into your guys' relationship and seeing you transform with your faith, how has that helped you be a better boyfriend? How has that helped your guys' dynamic? Can you speak a little bit more on that?
Yeah, I think part of it is communication for sure. I've never been the best communicator, so being able to just be more confident, not only in my just personal life, but my faith life as well, and being able to kind of just try to become more of a strong Christian and help her, and we help each other, but being able to be an outlet for her as well has been really helpful for both of us.
Totally. I guess the final thing I wanted to ask, and if you guys have something else, feel free to pitch in, but as a walk-on, maybe maybe you could be looked from the outside looking in, you may be kind of a guy that people wouldn't expect to be a leader on the team, and you have been able to gain that respect through the years. How have you been able to capture the guys on the team, the guys that may be playing the minutes in March Madness while you may not be out there? How have you been able to take on that leadership role, and how do you think God's been a part of that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as a walk-on specifically, physically just trying to make the team better, in scout team or in the drills, just trying to I'm there to make the team better. I'm there to help the guys become better. So that's kind of my role, and just doing that. And as far as in the faith, as a leader in faith, I think definitely the Bible study has helped a lot. Just being someone somebody can talk to if they need to has helped, and I think that's just kind of I'm just there for. Everybody knows they can talk to me. I'm friends with everybody on the team, and so I think that's been a big part of it.
I saw a quote earlier today that said, "Our goal is to preach the gospel our whole life with saying as little words as possible." And so I think it's more often about how we act and how we carry ourselves. And so what I'm gathering, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that people know they can go to you
Mhm.
when it comes to faith and
Yeah.
someone to talk to. You may not be necessarily pushing it down their throats or, being super upfront about it, but people know they can go to you.
Yeah. That's actually something I need to improve on, is being able to talk to more people about it and being more outward with myself. But I have come a long way in that aspect. But yeah, I want to be somebody who, if you want to talk about something or you have a problem, I'm not there to judge you. I'm there to listen to you, and I'm there to maybe help you with whatever you need, or if you just need someone to listen. I'm not trying to be someone to tell you what to do or judge you. Just give you advice maybe. So I hope that's what I was to my teammates.
That's awesome. So basketball is closing, right? That
Mhm.
door is closing. What's next? What, do you know kind of what in your own mind right now, like where do you see yourself come next year and maybe 5-10 years down the line?
Yeah, I mean, I asked that question a lot to myself as well.
Yeah.
But as far as what's next, I can't give you a specific answer right now, but there's a few things that I might be doing.
Cool.
I want to stay in sports. I want to work in sports, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
And as far as 5-10 years down the road, I mean, I don't know. That could be anywhere. I know Braden wants me to come down here.
Hey.
Come on.
But I mean, I'd live in Boise. I might live here. It's a little too hot for me, but I live in Washington. Probably not Grace Harbor. Sorry to everybody from Grace Harbor, but probably not back there. But yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
Mhm.
Lifting it up.
Yep.
I love it.
I mean, it looks like you have peace about it.
Yeah.
You may not know the circumstances or the details, but you know who's writing it all.
Yep.
Yep.
God's plan.
Come on.
I mean, it really is not easy to be in that headspace right now. I mean, you're in the same spot we were in. We're about to graduate, and as you said, like you are losing in some aspects a really good thing and an awesome, experience that really consumed a lot of your life, and now allow God to kind of fill that void for you, and I think He's gonna just continue to bless you as He has this entire way. So, rooting for you, man. Excited for that time when you are down here in Phoenix.
Mhm.
It's gonna be great. And,
limited time, maybe. I'm just kidding. Maybe.
We'll see.
We'll-
We'll take limited time.
Yeah.
We'll take limited time. We're not gonna ask for too much, but I think God's He's got a great plan for you, and if Phoenix is in there, it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be real good.
We'll see.
I think I know what you may want.
What are you implying, Braden?
Yeah.
No.
I've been praying. All right,
Love
man.
it.
Well, any last words of encouragement to the viewers? As I said, I'm sure plenty of people are watching. New viewers are watching from Boise. New viewers are watching from Montesano. And any last words as we wrap this up?
I mean, I just say stick to God's plan. You're gonna face a lot of adversity in your life, and some things aren't gonna make sense. What's gonna happen, and maybe disappointed, angry, confused, but I truly believe that things are gonna turn out how they're supposed to, and they're all gonna turn out well in the end. So that's all I got.
Love it. Couldn't agree more.
Yep. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, of course.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. Glad we got to finally make it happen, and I'm excited for all of you to watch this one. Hopefully you guys took something from this episode. I know I did, and we will see you next time. Peace out.